A showdown of the two international baseball powers in the final of the Under-18 World Cup. We'll break down the final for you in its entirety. A huge groundbreaking coming from Korea. We'll tell you all about the brand new Korean Baseball Hall of Fame. A physics-defying world record set in the world of athletics. The new pole vault world record will blow your mind sky high. And hockey gets underway across Europe. We'll bring you some updates on the major leagues with much more coming soon. All this and more on this week's edition of the International Sports Report. Welcome to this week's edition of the International Sports Report. We're debuting hat mode on this week's edition of the ISR because my hair is garbage right now, and that's not a problem for my shiny-headed brother over there to have to worry about. But here we are. We're also celebrating because both of our teams made the MLB playoffs this week. MG, how we feeling after popping some bottles with the cardiac cups?
Oh, we're finally there. They finally clinched it. We're going all the way. This is the year.
Well, going a good long way. Going a good, long, respectable way. But we're not talking about MLB on this show. We got lots to get to on this week's edition. Hockey's back, as we said in the open. I'm sure you're excited about that. We're going to hear all about that. But first things first. We got some interesting top stories to lead off with. First things first, we'll bring you the update on what happened in the final over the weekend of the Under-18 Baseball World Cup. Spoiler alert, it was a rematch of the WBC final, and on this occasion, the young Americans came out on top. Coleman Borthwick. I don't know where on earth he got that name, but it's definitely a name you should know. He throws a complete 7-inning game against Samurai Japan, striking out 6 batters, and corner infielders Jaden Jackson and Brody Schumacher notched the RBIs against a Japan team whose offense had absolutely no answers for Borthwick, and the hosts fall 2-0 in Okinawa at the final hurdle. Good job to Taipei. They did manage to get to the podium, finishing in third place. The future looks bright for that country. But MG,
Absolutely.
I'm left feeling, I have to say, a little bit bummed out.
Yeah?
I don't know. I don't know what that makes me. I mean, I've never really been a vocal patriot on this show, but
Well, sure.
I don't know. It does make me optimistic though. Naturally, there's still young people in the U.S. playing good baseball, and it does bode well for the WBC for all of the countries that were involved in this tournament. Shame about the final though. A 2-0 game is, I mean, there's no other way to shape it. It's just a bit of a letdown.
Yeah.
But
yeah. 2-0. It's probably about the most disappointing result you can get in a baseball game.
Yeah, complete game, bueno. Complete
complete game shutout. Yeah.
But
complete game shutout is no easy feat.
No, certainly not. Certainly not. It works as a solid primer, I think, for the WBC.
Yeah.
We are inside of, at time of recording, about 6 months away, right?
Yeah, we are. Really coming up.
If you're not subscribed already, there's your cue. We're going to have plenty of good coverage for that event. But this was really cool. This was really, really cool. I'm so excited to tell you about this. Yesterday afternoon, at the time of recording, in Gijong County, outside of the city of Busan, home of the Lotte Giants, ground was broken on the first ever Korean Baseball Hall of Fame. I'm so excited to see what this museum looks like. It'll be part of, and this got me really excited before I read a little bit more about it, the Gijong Baseball Theme Park. It's not a theme park. but it's the name that I guess just is the closest approximation to it. Described by Haps magazine as a sports and cultural complex. According to the article here, the museum will feature 3 floors above ground and 1 basement level with a total floor area of 2,998 square meters. Highlights including a permanent exhibition hall. I would assume that's some kind of plaque gallery, a
Surely.
Hall of Fame, a vastly expanded storage facility to preserve over 50,000 baseball artifacts collected by the Korean Baseball Organization. That's big. And the
Wow.
project has an estimated budget of 19 billion won. And I did not do the exchange rate on that, but I believe that is close to the 20 million, $30 million range in terms of dollars. But it's going to be a huge project set to open in 2026. First conceived in 2011, finally being brought into the
Oh.
reality. It's phenomenal stuff. I'm excited because the KBO, the of the 3 major leagues that we cover on this show, uh, I believe it was the second one to be founded, but it doesn't date that far back, 1982. But Korean baseball goes all the way back to 1913,
Oh.
around the same time
Yeah.
Japanese baseball became a thing. And so we're going to learn so much more. And then obviously, when you have a Hall of Fame for baseball, all these artifacts, these great moments from the game are going to get collected and cared for all in one place. Interestingly enough, we'll see about how much homework you've done. Do you know where the Japanese Baseball Hall of Fame is located?
Ooh.
This one's for you in the audience at home, too. Leave a comment if you know.
I know I have known it.
Go on,
It is
throw
information
it
that
out
I
there.
have.
Take a shot.
Not Hanshin.
Not Hanshi. It would make
Not
sense though.
Hanshin.
They do have a really good museum though at Koshien.
Is it is it with the buffaloes?
No, it's in Tokyo. It's
Of
inside the
course.
Tokyo Dome, the home
Oh.
of the Yomiuri Giants, which in hindsight is really funny because that would be like if the Hall of Fame was in New York City, in America, in the Bronx.
Yankee Stadium, yeah.
Yeah, but honestly, I like that idea though, and they're kind of going the same route because the Lotte Giants are one of the oldest and
Yeah.
we're not gonna say celebrated, but like one of those classic teams, I think, in Korean baseball. Chae-Dong-won obviously
Yeah.
comes to mind. There's the link for the video that we've done on this channel when we were once the Global Baseball Network on
Yeah.
him. There's some homework for you, but there it is. Hall of Fame is going to be constructed. It will be ready within a year. I'm excited to see some pictures from this. Hopefully, we'll be able to cover the opening, if not in person, on the channel anyway. But
Well, 2026. If you like and subscribe, we might get us there.
that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. He's good at this. He's not been on YouTube for very long, but he's really good at this. Like this video, subscribe, share it out. If you want to send us to Korea for that, let's make it happen. Finally, story from your neck of the woods, actually. Mondo Duplantis. Armand is his
Yeah,
give
that's the
is given
Louisiana name, all
Christian
right.
name. Decorated pole vaulter, commonly regarded as the best in the world. He competes for Team Sweden, unfortunately. I believe that is his mom's home country. But obviously, I mentioned he is a Louisiana native. That's where MG is currently. Not for much longer, but that's where he is
Not for
currently.
much longer.
Yeah, 22 golds in the pole vault, including
Whew.
two in the previous 2 Olympic Games. This man is just he defies physics. On top of the medals, he's already got before the one. I'm going to give you the number here in a second. He set the world record at the World Championships the other day. I'm going to give you the number in a second. But before today, not today, the other day, 14 times he has set the world record himself personally. He broke his own world record at the World Championships, I believe it was Friday, by jumping 6.30 meters straight up in the air on the pole vault. 6.3. You can't make this
Excuse
stuff up,
me.
man. This is why if you're not watching athletics, and we will be covering it in the future LA 2028 games, naturally, possibly even another iteration of the World Championships. We'll have to see how things play out. But Mondo Duplantis is a name that you should know. You watching at home, Google him, watch him jump. It's wicked stuff. It's wicked, wicked stuff. But there you go. So a big physics defying world record that I just could not tell you about
Yeah.
on this week's show. There we go. Are you flummoxed? by that
Yes.
time. Are you
Yeah,
proud to
I'm
be from the great state of Louisiana after that, or do we need a little more?
no.
All right.
Still
There's our
no.
top stories for you. All right, let's get into what happened last week in world sports. We're going to go to our games of the week before we get you a look on the standings of not just football, not just baseball, but hockey for the first time in the fall. Here we go, the games of the week from September the 10th of 2025. Beginning in the Premier League, Luciano Gatroida and Brian Brobby both played, but did nothing. Luckily, Crystal Palace could also do absolutely nothing against Sunderland keeper Robin Ropes. It ended level at Selhurst Park between Sunderland and Crystal Palace, 0-0. In the Eredivisie, Kai de Roij gets on the score sheet, does beating the recently porous Ajax defense, but the unit has a solid outing against PEC Zwolle overall. And the Amsterdam men deliver on the attack with captain Davy Klaassen getting on the score sheet, and a brace from Mika Hotz blasts Ajax past them in a 3-1 victory. In Serie A, the game of the week by a country mile in the world of football, a crazy good emotional battle in Italy, and more pain for Inter Milan. Hakan Calhanoglu nets 2 beautiful goals, and Marcus Thuram bombs through the Bianconeri back line to turn the game on its head and give the Nerazzurri a 3-2 lead in the 76th minute on the road in Turin. But 6 minutes later, Marcus's brother, Kefren Thuram, knots it up 3-3 with a screamer, and in garbage time, Vasilija Adzic blows the roof off of Allianz Stadium as he thunders home the game-winning goal. Juventus wins 4-3. I would be hard-pressed to think that a single game in Serie A is going to get any crazier than that this season. Watch it happen next week. But into the Bundesliga we go. Frankfurt started the year off very strong, but they were pretty limp against Erik ten Hag's Leverkusen unit, who beat them 3-1 thanks to 2 beautiful goals from Alex Grimaldo, one at the beginning of the match and one at the very end, 98th minute. My goodness, as well as a Patrick Schick penalty strike. Leverkusen went down to 9 men and still won 3-1. Fun one last Friday. Going into baseball, Seibu gets one on Friday against the Fighters at Escon in Hokkaido. Kona Takahashi does his thing, strikes out 5, grounds out the rest over 8 innings, and a rare offensive outburst with 5 in the 8th moves the needle 7-3 Lions in Game 1. Real crackerjack of a game on Saturday. Fighters go up 4-1 early in the first 4 innings against Yutaro Watanabe. Lions tie it up late, though, against the Fighters' pen and send it to extras. And in the 11th, Kotaro Kiyomiya puts the team on his back with a walk-off single. Fighters win 5-4 in Game 2. Chihiro Sumida is the latest excellent Lions pitcher to get hung out to dry. He goes 8 innings, strikes out 5. He gets some run support, but not enough. Kazunari Ishii homers for the 2nd straight day, and the home team wins another 1-run game, 4-3. And then finally in Game 4, Monday the Lions ran out of gas. They get blown out by 7 runs. Franmil Reyes gets his 3rd homer of the series and his 31st of the year. Fighters win 12-5. In Korea, the Eagles had to wait a day to get the series against the Heroes going after a Friday rainout, but on Saturday, Cody Ponce keeps up his 0.00 ERA. I'm going to keep emphasizing it until it stops being interesting, with 6 strong innings of work before giving way to the pen, who give up 4 runs. Huge game for Cheju Hwan, going 3-4, a 5-run 7th. The problem, though, the Eagles already put up 6 in the 5th. The lead was insurmountable. Eagles win 10-5 in Game 1. Crazy game Sunday. Heroes out-hit the Eagles 20-12. Crooked numbers in the first 6 innings. Coming all the way down to the 9th, Heroes put up a 3-spot to go up 13-8. Eagles get 2 in the bottom to make it 13-10, but that would be all she wrote. Shame this one had to end it all, really. Heroes win 13-10. Another badly pitched game to close it up on Monday. Eagles go up 6-2 by the end of the 4th, but the Heroes tie it up going into the bottom of the 8th inning. But Lee Jin Young hits the go-ahead single to give the Eagles the series win in Game 3, 7-6. And finally,
if you are not watching KBO, you are missing out.
I know, right? My goodness, it's the epitome of a hitters league. We call it a hitters league, of course, but then Cody Ponce keeps doing this. for Hanwha. Finishing up the baseball in CBPL, a dynamite weekend for the Rakuten Monkeys against the league-leading CTBC Brothers. Didn't start well on Friday. Nivaldo Rodriguez goes 7 strong, striking out 6. Had a big homer from the left fielder Husting Lun, giving the Brothers a 5-1 win. But the Monkeys ripped MG's favorite CBPL pitcher Humberto Castellanos in Game 2, knocking him out after 2 1/3, putting up 8 runs in the bottom of the third inning, with 8 of their 9 hits coming in that frame. Pedro Fernandez did the rest, going 7 strong, 6 Ks. Monkeys win 8-zip. In the deciding Game 3, though, shortstop Lin Chen-fei hits a 3-run bomb, and that was all the Monkeys needed. They win the game 3-2, and the series 2-1. So that cues us up to look at the standings as of September the 17th, starting with NPB. The Hanshin Tigers have already clinched the pennant in Central League, but things getting very interesting in those 2 and 3, and honestly 4 spots, to be terribly honest. We'll get to that in just a moment, and we'll see how those playoff spots shake out. In Pacific League, it is a 2-man race, Hawks and Fighters duking it out for that first place spot. Eagles and Buffaloes are going to probably take it down to the wire, honestly, for that third and final playoff spot in Pacific League. We'll get into some of those series and the overall playoff picture here imminently. Going to Korea, the Twins on top by 3 games on the Hanwha Eagles, and it's quite a big gap, 2 and 3. The SSG Landers have wound up on the top of the heap for now, with Lions, Giants, and Dinos all within 4 games of one another. Another series for you to watch here on the weekend that we'll get into imminently. I'm just teasing you a little bit, getting you psyched out. CBPL, Brothers in front by not by much against the hottest team in Taiwan right now, the Rakuten Monkeys, 1.5 games. And the first half champion Lions, 3.5 games out in third. Hawks, Dragons, and Guardians rounding out that order. Going to the football tables, Liverpool in front after a wild game against Burnley, and I feel sorry for them. I really, really do, but that penalty was a penalty, and that gets you 3 points to top Arsenal at the top of the table. And it is a 3-way tie for 2nd through 4th, Arsenal, Tottenham, and Bournemouth of all teams. Chelsea rounding out the top 5 in 5th. Going into the Eredivisie, it is Feyenoord up front, joint top with PSV. And actually, with the table that we've got here, this is ESPN's fault, not ours. They actually should be up front, should be PSV in front on goal difference alone. But there it is. Anyway, that's the situation in the Netherlands, and I don't really have any more to say about that. Am I salty about the Champions League today? You'll never know. Serie A, Napoli in front, 9 points tied up with Juventus. Cremonese and Udinese, a surprising 3 and 4 in the Italian tables, and AC Milan and Roma tied up in 5th and 6th to round out the top teams in Italy. And then finally, in the Bundesliga, before we throw it to hockey, the champs up front by a full 2 points on Borussia Dortmund. Nice to see them back towards the top of the table. That'll keep things interesting in Germany for a little bit. Köln, St. Pauli, and Frankfurt rounding out your top 5. All right, MG, time to shine. Do you have some hockey tables for us?
In the Deutsche Eishockey League, Grizzlies Wolfsburg currently top the league, tied with the Eisbären Berlin and Adler Mannheim and Penguins Bremerhaven, all with 6 points, 2 games into the very young season. Moving on to the Swedish Hockey League. Luleå are in top, no surprises there. Following them, the Wacker Lakers, Leksands, and Färjestad. In Switzerland, HC Davos, currently your leaders in the National League, 4 games down. They have won all 4. Not surprising there. They are some giants of the game in Europe. Trailing them is Lausanne, 1 game behind, along with Lions and the Lakers. Closing out our standings this week with Liga in Finland, TPS lead 4 games into the season with 11 points, 3 wins, 1 overtime win. Following them is Tappara, Keiko Espoo, and Asset, rounding out your top 4 in the Finnish Liga.
All right, let's go to our games of the week here as we look ahead to the action to come your way next calendar week EPL starting in England, of course, Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Turning in for a busy football Saturday, to be honest with you. The twilight of Pep Guardiola and Manchester City and the rise of Arsenal. Staggeringly, potently attacking trio the Gunners have. Honestly, they're just really fun to watch. Let's see how they do against Gianluigi Donnarumma, who has yet to debut for Man City. Netherlands, Sunday at 8:30, already 1-2 in the early season in the Netherlands. PSV looking pretty dangerous. Can Ajax keep their good form and keep things interesting? In Italy, Sunday, 6:30 a.m., go subscribe to Paramount Plus if you haven't already. This is a tasty one. Derby time in Rome. Roma versus Lazio at the Olympic Stadium. And then finally for football in Germany, Saturday at 9 a.m., give me the defending champs against Hoffenheim. This is a talented side to start the year. I'd like to see if Hoffenheim could make them stumble. In baseball, big weekend for the Hiroshima Carp. They need a huge series against the Giants to try to keep any hope of punching their tickets to the postseason alive. A good result will keep things interesting. In the KBO, let's you and I take a look at the Lotte Giants, an important mid-table battle for playoff seeding against the NC Dinos. I like this Giants team to make some noise come playoff time. And then finally in the CBPL, league ERA leader and hits leader, leading the Uni Lions against the first place brothers. Monkeys keeping up. Can the Lions do the same? And then finally, in the SHL for hockey, last year's champions Luleå face Frölunda on Saturday in a semi-final rematch. That'll be a good one. In Liga, Ilves and Luko face off on Saturday in a repeat of last season's bronze medal game. Luko was the number 1 seed in last year's playoffs and will be looking for redemption after losing an overtime thriller to number 2 Ilves. In Germany, 2-time defending champions Eisbären Berlin seek to repeat their success against Adler Mannheim after completing the sweep in last year's semifinals. And then finally in Switzerland, HC Davos taking on HC Lugano side, hoping for a better result than last year's second from the bottom. We're skipping F1 standings this week. I'll leave the card for you in the video if you do want an update, because we didn't have a race this weekend. But in a nice segue, what do you say we talk about it? It's Baku Grand Prix time. I love this course, man. I think this
Really
is gonna be
looking
a fun
forward to this
race.
one.
But it must be said, how tense do you think the McLaren garage is right now?
It cannot be a fun environment.
No, I don't think so. If you missed Monza, it was chaos, and the pit switch was really what everybody latched onto, and not unfairly so. Lando getting the go-ahead just reads so much like a little bit of unfair bias on the part of Zach Brown. Again, we talked about that on last week's show, so make sure you hit the card. But it's a tense garage, and even though both these guys tend to be pretty good on this track, you have to think it's going to probably contribute negatively to their form. But if Oscar has a good day,
At least one of them.
yeah. And who that is, I don't really know. Oscar obviously does not get rattled ever.
Yeah.
But last week it was pretty bad. I think though he can shake off the juju with a really, really good result here. If he comes back and wins this
Yeah.
race, then I don't know if Lando has any hope, to be terribly honest with you. And in that vein, we come to our first question really in earnest to discuss here leading into this race. We are talking like it's a foregone conclusion, the championship. It's not, obviously. Still plenty
No.
to go and some big races to boot, but what really can we learn about the larger sport, the larger state of all of these teams going into these last few races of the season?
Well, I mean, it's very clear that Ferrari is in shambles at the moment.
Yeah. That's definitely true.
I mean, I really think nearly all of these teams have had their focus on next season since, I mean, really about the 6th race of the season.
Yeah, everybody except McLaren, and then I think that's largely why it's been such a runaway for the constructors.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, everybody's planning for the next era. We don't really know what that's going to look like or how that's going to take shape yet. And
I mean, the ground effect era is ending.
Yeah.
Imminently.
Yeah. I mean, by Christmas, it's going to be over. We don't really know what the sport's going to look like next year.
Maybe we'll have actual wet races again.
Wouldn't that be nice? We can dream, but that's about all we can do at this point. I've been hearing a little bit of chatter. Maybe you have as well. What do we think about this talk of Kimi Antonelli switching from Mercedes?
Oh, this is actually news to me.
Well, the big one that comes to mind for me is we had Gunther Steiner, who was a former boss of Haas, the former Haas boss, as it were. It was in the fixture for quite a while. Everybody knows his name, especially if you've seen Drive to Survive. He carried that show on his back for the first 3 seasons of its existence. So we love Gunther. I mean, he was in the F1 movie for Pete's sake. I mean, he is a legend for a reason. And so he says that Kimi should get switched to Williams for Carlos Sainz.
No.
And no, he's come right out and said, I personally think if there's a way to do that, do that. But because I mean, Kimmy's good. I don't know if he's quite ready
Yeah,
for the big time yet.
sure. Sure.
I sense your disagreement. I sense your disagreement. Tell me why.
I just fail to see how that isn't a negative, really, for Mercedes and for Antonelli.
But not for science.
Not for signs, certainly.
Wouldn't it be
I
nice
mean,
though to see him competitive again? I don't know. It's
it
just
would. No, it certainly would. It absolutely would. Um, oh, I have another a point when we're through with this one. Something that just occurred to me that I didn't think to put in their notes.
well, go on then, throw it out.
The speaking of the teammate pairings and teams, Aston Martin has an incredible. This will be the 300th race for their pair.
Oh my goodness. Has Lance Stroll really been in this for that long?
He came in very young and has the potential to be the most experienced F1 driver in history.
Wow. I don't really know who that rookie that they've got paired up with him is, but I'm not sure how he's going to compete. Oy vey, what a number that.
Yeah,
300
the
starts.
300th start for the pair.
My goodness. Well, that's if Lance gets out of Q3 or Q2, I
Well,
suppose.
naturally.
But we'll have to see how that plays out. All right, Baku, in case you haven't watched it before, is a street circuit, kind of in the vein of Monaco, kind of in the vein of Singapore. When I think of traditional circuits, I'm thinking Silverstone, I'm thinking
Right.
Zandvoort, I'm thinking
Monza,
Monza. Yeah. So,
Nuremberg.
me personally, I think that Singapore is the most entertaining track on the calendar. I really, really
Okay,
love street circuits. Uh, Traditional ones I think are fun, but a lot of those names I just mentioned are ones where overtakes are really, really tricky. And in recent
true.
times, it hasn't really provided a whole lot of exciting, interesting racing. So I don't know. I wanted to know where you land on this. I like street circuits because they're really unpredictable and fun. I mean, y'all throw Monaco on there too. I mean, obviously the OG street circuit. Um, it makes for a more compelling scene. I think it's just more weirdly more traditional than traditional circuits in my view.
I
So I
mean,
don't know. I wanted to throw that out to you and to the
yeah,
audience. So leave a comment what you think. Let's get MG's thoughts.
yeah. The roots of the sport are street circuits.
Yeah.
I mean, all the way back to the earliest days of motorsport. There weren't dedicated tracks. They were racing in cities or towns or highways. And I
Yeah.
mean, I personally like the scenery does a lot in a street circuit as
Especially
compared to, yeah, something like Circuit of the Americas just surrounded by parking lots.
it's true. Whereas in Baku you have a literal castle.
Yeah.
You have a literal castle as like a feature of the track. I don't know. It takes me
So
back to my F-Zero days. It's phenomenal.
I am pro street circuit,
Good.
but I
Okay.
do think street circuits require more forethought than a dedicated circuit.
I mean, in terms of
So
like
like,
logistical
we
planning?
have to consider logistics, but also when you're using these streets that are for regular car usage, you got to think about how is a race going to function with these corners. How does this existing infrastructure adapt? Will overtaking be possible?
Yeah. No, it's true. It's
Baku
true.
has tons of 90-degree turns that people like you and I who drive regular cars are very accustomed to.
But oh my goodness, I think I would probably sell a testicle to drive my Buick on the on the Baku
Oh,
Street circuit.
I forget if it was Top Gear or the Grand Tour, but there is an incredible episode of either of those shows where the trio goes to Baku and
I think I know which one you're
gets to
talking about.
experience the circuit.
It must have been the year that it opened. But no, yeah, it's going to be a fun race. Be sure not to miss it. Let's hit on the news that broke actually yesterday. This is one that you brought to my attention because I
Yeah.
was out touching grass on that rare occasion. The 2026 sprint calendar has been released. They are in Shanghai, in Miami, Montreal, Silverstone, Zandvoort, and Singapore. Now, a couple of these I think are good. I think
Yes.
Silverstone's a good idea.
Silverstone's excellent.
Yeah.
Miami, I'm very in favor of.
Yeah, Montreal I think is also good.
Yeah.
Now let's get to the other terrible ideas.
Stanford. You,
What?
any who watched last what? Yeah, what exactly? It's it's a sprint, and you can't pass.
It's mind-numbing. It completely defeats the purpose of the way the track is laid out. I mean, same with Singapore. It is
Yeah,
literally like physically dangerous. It
Singapore is Super
negates
Monaco.
Yeah, it negates several safety precautions that are in place already that need to exist for the normal race to happen in
Yeah,
Singapore. But what a sprint looks like, I mean, it's just going to be the most stale, boring mess. And I'm glad it will be because nobody's going to be putting their lives on the line for one
yeah.
single point. Oy vey. Yeah, this is frustrating.
And
Again, let us know in the
removing
comments what you
Brazil,
think of this. But oy vey. And they
getting
got
rid
rid of
of
the age-related
Brazil
sprint. Yeah.
for Zandvoort.
Mm. Brazil is
So,
great.
we're
We got to enjoy it while it's here. We got to enjoy it while it's
several
here, is what I'm
seasons
hearing.
in now. What are your thoughts on the sprint format as a whole?
No, it's not doing it for me. I mean, I'll be honest. I
No,
don't know.
nor I.
Aside from the highlights, I don't really think I've watched a single one.
No, I
Not in
have
their
not
entirety.
sat and
Like if it's
watched.
on, even if it's on, I'm like, I forget. It's Saturday. They're doing the sprint. My bad. I probably just like didn't sleep well enough last night. I'm gonna go turn it off, do something else. What
Yeah,
happened? Okay, great.
exactly.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, I
Oh,
just
one point.
it's a distance race. It's a distance race, this sport. There's a reason why it's 70 laps on certain tracks. Anyway, your point.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No, it's 1 point. It's
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
what's
Oh,
it's 1 point. Just have another qualifying round. You're accomplishing as much.
Q4. Why not?
Yeah.
At this point. Anyway, that we did have to hit on it because it's yet again another brain dead decision by the leadership. Um, and I asked you this off air earlier on when we were talking today, and I was curious to know. I mean, you you had kind of a cynical bent to this when you were telling me about it. And so I wanted to know kind of where you were at with your F1 fandom close to a year in covering it. And I wondered how cynical you've really become by and large about the sport.
My cynicism extends to the inconsistency in the stewardship
Yep.
predominantly,
Yep.
as well as
Hard to
the
miss.
implementation of the rules. And when you have a sports organization run by a Saudi prince, you get a sports organization run by a Saudi prince.
Yeah, pretty much.
You get all of the admitted positives and many negatives that come with that.
Yeah, and there are several. Looking at you,
But
FIFA.
I'm heavily, incredibly invested in the sport, loving even the parades like Zandvoort and Monaco are still a fabulous way to spend my mornings on a Sunday.
It didn't used to be like this, especially Zandvoort. My goodness. Hopefully, it'll be
New
better next
cars,
year.
hopefully it'll be better.
Yeah, with
Smaller
the new
cars.
era.
Thank God, smaller cars.
Maybe Monaco will be fun. Well, maybe Monaco will be fun again. We'll have to
Not
see.
holding my breath.
All right, yeah. So Sunday morning, it's an early one. 7:30 a 6:30 Central, I believe, is the start time for that one.
Yeah.
So it is going to be a fun one. Enjoy the street circuits; they're much better than the traditional circuits, at least in this era, anyway. All right, before we get into our little playoff prediction talk here, did you have any other points you wanted to hit on for hockey?
Not at this time. We'll have much more coming to you in a future episode.
Excellent. All right,
Once
let's.
things really get rolling.
Yes, 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 and it's coming because we got to talk playoff baseball here, and it'll be over before you know it. First season for you though of World Baseball Playoffs, so this should be fun. We'll
Very
start
exciting.
in Korea. Now, what we know about the format for, and we did talk about this in one of our first videos here, so I'll
Yeah.
link that up there. But it's a gauntlet in Korea. Five versus four, four versus three, three versus two, or winners each rather. Winner versus
Yeah.
three, winner versus two, and then winner versus one. Which the way it's shaping up is gonna probably be the LG Twins, who are playing
Very likely.
absolutely marvelous out of their skull baseball right now. Are they inevitable, and maybe do we need to think about changing this system?
I mean, what's the statistic on how many one seeds have ended up winning the title?
I think it's the one seeds. I mean, that's the inevitable point. The ones that haven't, I mean, you
Yeah,
can count on one hand basically over
yeah,
the course of the
exactly.
last 10
It's
years. Um, but I don't know.
it's LG. It's very likely going to be LG.
You know what? Here's the counterpoint. I'll make to that though. That yes, it probably is not going to be the year of. I don't know. I'm going to say the Lotte Giants probably finish in that last playoff spot, just because of their excellent pitching staff and the hitters showing up at certain times. I think they're probably going to
Yeah,
make it. Um, the Landers could maybe win one game, and then I think I don't know. I've it's just I don't really know if there's anybody else in that crazy mix in the mid table who can
yeah.
really make a noise other than the Hanwha Eagles, who have a really excellent ball club. They have done an
I
incredible job turning things around in the new season and the new stadium,
yeah,
first off. But for enough to have the best pitcher in the league in Cody Ponce, who could leave for MLB at any moment, honestly,
yeah.
because say what you will
Zero
about him.
point zero zero ERA is
In a hitter's league, 0.00 ERA is absolutely unignorable.
unfathomable. Even
Yeah, it's wild. And then you have a great offense led by Rossi Juan on third base, who has gotten better and better with age. And I think he can beat these guys. It's gonna take a lot, but with the KBO format being what it is, and for what it's worth, I do think we need to retool it. I think it is interesting. It's novel, but I
yeah,
don't know if it's practical. Is the
yeah.
thing, and I do think what we're gonna get is a Korean series with one versus two, and it's gonna be a good one. But I don't know. The Twins are a wagon right now. We'll have to see if they're regular season champions, and that's it. But we shall see. Getting a little bit more interesting in Taiwan. We have the brothers who are leading things in the second half. They did well enough in the first half. These Rakuten monkeys, who I have loved watching all season, hopefully you have as well. Li Lin is probably my favorite player in all of Taiwan right now. And I have to apologize to my friend Chuck because I know he's watching while he's playing ball in England. But he is a Big Brothers fan, and I told him initially. I think the last time we talked about baseball properly, um, I told him I was going to be a Brothers fan. And I got to tell you, I'm not sure if it's happening for me anymore. I love this Monkeys team so much, especially Lee Lin. He just rakes. He's a hustler. He's a great ball player. And he's leading this Monkeys team to a spot where I think they could be in a position to make some noise as the kind of joint best record team, because that's what happens is it's a similar gauntlet kind of format to Korea where it's that the joint best record team finishes third from both halves, plays whichever team, the first half champion or the second half champion, had the better record, and then the best record is the one that gets the bye.
Yeah.
That's what's happening with the playoff in Taiwan. And these monkeys, I think could do it. They could really do something. I think they might pull it back. I've got some faith in them. I mean, you got any thoughts on this?
Same as you. I mean, I really, really am riding this Rakuten team.
Yeah, they're wagging right now. Leland, buy some Leland stock. He might be the next Lin Wei to make some noise in MLB, or the next Yu Chong, who might make some noise in MLB. I want to see that for Taiwan so badly. They are such a great baseball nation on the rise right now, and
Yeah.
that we have plenty of Japanese superstars in the big leagues right now, with more on the way. And it would be great as this new, exciting, interesting young generation of Taiwanese players comes into their own. If we could see them rocking and rolling at the big league level, we'll see. There have been a few, like I said, but we'll have to see. I think Leland could be the next. I've mentioned his name a lot here. He's been in the thumbnail a couple of weeks here. So make sure you know his name, especially in the next few years. And then finally in NPB, I think it's a fair assessment to make that the Hanshin Tigers are probably going to not only make the Japan series, but probably win it. I think they are better than every other team in both leagues at this point. What do you think?
It's very likely Hanshin.
Yeah,
Very likely.
they're so fun to watch. I mean, you have the best pitcher in the league right now in Shota Murakami. You have the best hitter. I mean, debatably, I'll give you the best contact hitter in both leagues right now in Shota Morishita, unless Shugomaki comes back for the Bay Stars. And we did get news this week that he's hitting normally. He is feeling better. He might be able to make some noise for DNA and turn that Central League Climax series into something interesting. But I do think this is the Tiger series to lose, and they definitely can beat this Hawks team. This Hawks team is old. It is inconsistent. They are playing like a mid-table MLB team. And I don't know.
Yep.
I think they're very, very beatable at this point. Maybe I'm crazy. Uh is it fair to say that I think the most interesting Japan series would be the Tigers and Fighters?
No, I think that's correct. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I think
Tigers and fighters, 100%.
the Fighters the best hitting team in the league right now, like as a unit. I don't
Yeah,
think there's one hitter on that team that's better than Morishita, but I think it'd be really, really fun to see what these guys can do against the Tigers in the Japan series. They might not have enough to win it, but good gosh, Big Boss in the Japan series, I need to see him fly in on a helicopter for game one. It would be awesome. He's gonna
incredible.
bring the heat with the fit. Shiyoshi Shinjo, by the way, if you haven't caught who we're talking about here. It's going to be fun. I do think the Fighters are going to be the ones to make it out of Pod League. As for the other two teams in Central League, Giants, no. there's just not enough. The pitchers who they have relied upon to perform have not done so, and they are regularly starting Trey freaking Cabbage in right field. Yes, he's been raking, but listen, he's not. He has no fight. He has no hustle.
Yeah,
Come on, man. Get real about this. I'm sorry, Giants fans. This is not your year. The Bay Stars will make the Climax Series interesting. If they make it out of it, their pitching staff is really good, and if they get Maki back again, he's the best hitting infielder in Central League, with the possible exception of Kazuma Okamoto. But even Okamoto's not really been himself this year. And in a year where
no,
he was going to get posted, Murataka Murakami is already acting like he's in New York. He's just completely out of his head right now. He's nowhere near what he needs to be. I don't know who's going to pay for him in the off season, because we know he's good. We know he's
yeah,
good, but I don't really know who takes a flyer on him after this season. I don't know. Yes, he's a Japan Series champ. Yes, he's an MVP. Yes, he rakes, but I don't know. I don't know. He's nowhere near where he needs to be for the Swallows, and that's got to be saying something. So I don't know. Let's Climax Series, Tigers, Bay Stars, Fighters, Hawks, Fighters, Tigers, Japan Series. I think Tigers take it. Your thoughts?
Tigers.
Echoes. Okay. Terrific. All right. Let's wrap it up here. We got our fun segment here for the week. I was excited to hear about this one. I threw mine in the outline. There will be some names you know, some you don't, and I was excited to see. Uh, there's two in particular here. I'm not going to spoil them for you. Why don't you go first?
Okay.
Start in hockey because this was the
Yeah.
really
Well,
exciting one to see.
Jaromir Jagr.
Mm.
Jaromir Jagr
That's a name. Now
has
that's a name I've not heard in a
that's a name.
long time.
For those unfamiliar, Czech absolute legend of the game. Played in the NHL for just an absurdly long period of time. I mean, you can find him in the like NHL '93 video game
I mean,
until
Crosby's knocking on the door at this point, right? With the
Crosby's
length of his career, but I mean,
close.
Yager
Yeah,
is the original gangster.
yeah,
I love watching him
and
play.
just looked better and better the older he got, and was still producing at an elite level, and continue. To the best of my knowledge, continues to play to this day in a Czech team that he partially owns.
Oh, I mean, you've earned that right. You've earned that right. If you come over and participate at the highest level and kick butt at the highest
Yeah.
level, yeah, go off, Younger. Do your thing.
Second highest points total in NHL history. I mean, just I played for nearly half the teams in the league,
Behind only Gordie Howe?
behind only Wayne Gretzky.
Gretzky. Okay, yeah. Dodoy.
Yeah,
Dodoy Howe's probably third. As you can see, my hockey stats knowledge is a little sketchy. But proceed. Yeah, Yager. I mean, this is a great
Yager,
choice.
all-time Cub legend Ernie Banks,
Yep.
Mr. Cub. Let's play
Let's
two.
let's play two is the perfect mantra, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But yeah, no
bring
surprise to see this on your list.
bring back single ticket double headers.
Indeed. Print it, run it, put it in stone.
Um, what can you say about Ernie Banks?
Oh, I mean,
What is there that needs to be said?
the most powerful shortstop to ever play the game, I think, is what sticks out to me about him. I mean, I think that naturally to have that 500 power to play that position, I mean, he
Yeah,
was revolutionary at that position when he debuted. Here's a fun one for you: was teammates not only with Hank Aaron before he debuted, but playing his position, by the way, back when Hank was a shortstop, was also teammates with Tony Stone, the first woman to ever play professional ball in the Negro Leagues for the Indianapolis Clowns before the Cubs signed him up. So, I mean, I love Ernie. He's
yeah,
he's 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 terrific. He's one of the first like he was probably the first like old baseball card I ever owned. So I always got a special
yeah,
place in my heart for Ernie. Um, and he just got so much. He had so much style. He had just
yeah.
soul. Loved him in interviews. Love watching him play. Great choice. What else you got?
Staying in the world of baseball, we've got Satchel Paige.
Mm, okay.
Just, I mean, you don't get much more legendary.
No, no, because here's what I'm gonna say. Here's what I'm gonna say about Paige. All right. Look on this video as this my will and testament. Satchel Paige is the greatest pitcher of all time. No one better. No one better. Seven
Yeah,
pitches. I mean, could touch easily over 100 with his fastball. Documents would suggest. I mean, he
yeah,
had impeccable control. He was so good that he could afford to be a diva. I mean,
yeah,
he went around to get his bag. He didn't really care about anything. He said, "I'm just going to go around and pitch. I'm just going to do my thing." What settles it for me with Paige, and maybe you've heard the story too, is that the well publicized version, the version you'll find in Cooperstown, is that Page is the oldest man, I believe, to record a or rather to record an inning pitched in the big leagues. He did it in the '60s for the Charlie Finley Athletics,
yeah,
and by all documents would suggest he was, I believe, 65 years old was the initial,
yeah.
or was that version would suggest.
It was
But
a decade or two after he retired.
right, here's the thing with that though. His birth certificate was kept in the family Bible and
Yeah,
was lost So no one actually knows, and you'll see it on his grave. No one actually knows what year he was born. But anecdotal evidence would suggest that he was actually born 10 years before the normal dates would suggest, which means when he threw in the big leagues, striking out Hall of Famer Carl Yastrzemski in that no, he didn't strike him out. But pitching against Carl Yastrzemski in that inning, he was 75 years old.
Yeah.
Like, what even?
Yeah.
The greatest to ever do it. I don't want to hear it about Roger Clemens. I don't want to hear about Randy Johnson. I don't want to hear about
No,
anybody. Satchel
it's
Paige, the
Satchel
man.
Paige.
The man.
Yes. Yeah, and a absolute testament to the Negro Leagues being as good, if not better, than Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Abso-freaking-lutely. All right. Segue that nicely
Yep.
into the other ball player you have on that list, if you'd be so kind.
Ichiro.
Mm-hmm.
It's the greatest hitter of all time. The greatest hitter of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I was coming up with a rebuttal, but don't worry, it wouldn't have been Ty Cobb or Pete Rose. But no, I mean, is phenomenal. More than that,
I
just
mean, there are people you can name from NPB or its predecessor leagues in Korea.
I
There
don't
there
even know.
are.
I don't know about that, man. I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean, he the names that would come to
no
mind
one.
there,
Yeah,
like Jongbom Lee,
yeah.
um, Isao Harimoto, the greats of the game from even that region. Even he, like on the raw the raw skill, the raw talent, the contact ability that he had, is unmatched. Unmatched.
Yeah, and he could have been going yard so much more than he did
If he wanted to.
if he wanted to. He just did. He played small ball. He played like a classical National League
Yeah.
leadoff hitter
Just because
in the
that's not
AL.
the game he played.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's phenomenal. It's really terrific, and this is another one we'll lock in stone here. And this video is evidence on this channel. Ichiro's the hit king.
yep,
Nothing about Pete Rose. Absolutely
no,
nothing. All right, you got one more on there.
and
Who is
has
it?
nothing to do with gambling.
Ain't that the truth? All right, you got one more on
I'll
there. Who is
close
it?
out mine with someone less well known
He
than
should
the
be.
others on the list.
He should be more well known,
He
but there it is.
absolutely should be, but as a result of this country's history, he's largely been forgotten. But I've seen a lot more chatter about him recently, and that is Jim Thorpe.
Yep. Say his name.
For
Tell
those
us about him.
unfamiliar, Jim Thorpe was an indigenous man in the United States who was an potentially one of the best raw athletes the world has ever seen.
Yep. Without
Won
a doubt.
numerous medals in the Olympics,
Olympian.
which were unjustly taken from him. Later restored, but he didn't get to see it.
Just boils the
Um,
blood.
a legend in the game of American football in its early days,
Naturally.
college and professional. Baseball as well, track and field.
Played
I mean,
for
just
the New York Giants in his baseball career, if memory serves.
I believe so. Yes.
But yeah, I mean, it doesn't
But
really
yeah,
matter. At
just
the end of the day, he did everything.
an incredible athlete and a real tragedy because of the discrimination he faced, and the end of his life was not anywhere close to as dignified as he deserved.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Oh. I hate that's a downer. I hate that that's such a downer, but it's true. I mean, we're not going to shy away from it here. I mean, this
Yeah,
is the reality of sport. I mean, this is in part why this channel exists, is because we're telling you the stories that the American sports media doesn't really have time for, doesn't even really care about. This is what
yeah.
we're doing. This is what we're doing at the end of the day. This is a good list. I noticed, however, no footballers on this list.
I couldn't. I just
I thought
there
perchance
were.
I thought perchance that a certain hashtag CSGB English Sunday League legend was going to be making it on this list, but
You
I
know
mean, there
what?
it is.
You know what? Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy. I try to shy away from my biases a little bit on this
Come
channel,
on
but
there, come
Jamie
on.
Vardy joined the league, joined the Premier League at 29, and still is one of the top scorers ever to have played English football.
Who does that? Who does that? He's just phenomenal. He's the Vince Papale of
Man,
real football. I love it.
sits on the sidelines, crushes a can of Red Bull, runs on, scores a winner against Arsenal, and may as well just run onto the team bus.
All right, hold on a minute. Dig this comp. The Babe Ruth of football?
Yes, I'll agree with that.
There we go. Yes. I love that for him so much. There we have it. All right, I love it. That's a good one to end on for you. As much as we
Let's hear
needed
you.
to tell Jim
I'm
Thorpe's story, we had
yeah.
to end on a good one at the end of the day.
I want to hear yours
All
now.
right, all right, all right. So I did put a footballer on there, and Steven Gerrard was tempting, but I cheated a
Yeah,
little bit on this list because if you've been paying close attention on our channel page, three of these guys you will see in the channel banner. There is one race car and a
yeah.
picture of a footballer and a baseball star. The footballer is the greatest to ever do it, Johan Cruyff.
Hard to
Uh,
argue that.
yeah, I mean the word that comes to mind for him, and the one that I've seen thrown around a lot, is time traveler. Obviously, that's not possible, we think, but I mean he patterned and subsequently trained most, if not all, of the next generation of footballers that we grew up on. He basically invented the game that you and I, maybe some of you at home, grew up on
Yeah,
just by casually playing his style. I mean, he was just so beautiful and creative, and I mean, he's also got the
natural.
he's got the great story going for him of him being like a local Amsterdam kid who like grew up near the ground for Ajax, and his mom working as a janitor at Ajax, and all he wanted to do was grow up and play for Ajax, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah,
Took the club to a new like stratum of existence, really. Two Champions League titles with Ajax and Rinus Michels in the era of total football, inventing total football, by the way, that Pep Guardiola owes the entirety of his success to,
yeah,
with Michels, and perfecting it and putting it into the DNA of Barcelona as well, with training guys like, oh, I don't know, like with Guardiola to start, who then trained Messi, and then going into Ajax, training guys like Frank Rijkaard, Marco van
yeah.
Basten. All these legends of the game owe their success to Cruyff, and he made terrible decisions with money, but some
As
certain
many
certain legends
athletes
of the
do.
game did, and we don't hold that against them. And I think if he hadn't smoked as many cigarettes as he did, he'd still be around today to watch this video and have him be around watching us give him his flowers. But it's a shame. I'm glad that I own an IX14 jersey though, just because he is like the Mozart, the Beethoven, the really just classical composer of football. I love
Yeah,
Cruyff. The other guy in that channel banner, I did almost put Sadaharu on there. He is on this list, but I got to throw Willie Mays on there, the
yeah.
greatest
Say
baseball
hey.
player to ever do it. Yes, we mentioned Ichiro, the greatest hitter ever. Mays had all five tools in greater supply than anyone else alive.
Yes, I will 100% agree. He had the greatest balance of the whole.
Mm-hmm. Great power, great contact, insanely good defender, rocket arm as we saw, and then obviously could run. I mean, he debuted in the Negro Leagues at 17, playing for the Birmingham Black Barons. I mean, he was a teenager
Incredible.
playing better than most MLB players at the time when he was a teenager. Um, you know, and the thing that sticks out for me, it's a lot of the same reasons why you love Ernie Banks, is that it's the joy and the passion with which he
Yes.
played. I mean, he rounded second and third with a smile on his face. His cap was off. He didn't care. He didn't care if he got dirty. He loved nothing greater than playing baseball.
Yeah.
And when
That's
I
what it's
play
all about.
baseball, yeah, when I play baseball, that's the mentality that I try to keep in my head. I mean, why are you playing
It's
sports
yeah.
if you're not joyful doing it?
Yeah.
Why are we doing this if we're not joyful doing it? I mean, it's just the perfect um way of
There's a
life.
there's a great quote from the Mighty Ducks movie from from the 90s
The reference,
where
what is it?
uh, where Hans tells Gordon Bombay that what he needs to be doing is teaching these kids to fly.
Hmm. Yep.
'Cause it's the fundamentals and he's trying to beat hockey into them, but he needs to teach them to fly.
It's, oh, I don't know why that hit me so hard. Why did that hit me so hard? That's what he did. That's what he did. He flew. He flew, man. He didn't. He
Yeah,
floated everywhere he went. I mean, he's just
absolutely.
phenomenal. And another one of those guys that, I mean, he was just one of many that got raked over the coals by the institutional racism of this
Yep.
country and MLB at the time. I mean, the unfair libel that he had to deal with, the slander of the
Yeah.
prince. It boils the blood. Honestly, I'm gonna try not to do that too much. I'll segue instead into Ulsan, who has every right to be on that banner. I did a whole 5-part documentary series on him on this channel, by the way. There's the card. Um, because I don't know, he I feel like I really got to know and is largely the reason why I'm sitting here doing this and doing this with you by extension. um, he opened my eyes to a whole new world of sport. And I'll steal what I said at the end of part 5 of that video. Um, he is what you get when you make baseball your life.
Yeah.
He's the reason why Shohei Ohtani even really exists.
Yeah.
Uh, and that drive, that relentless determination, um, that even Ichiro ended up taking for his own and using it to fuel his success. He was a truly pioneering ball player, Osan, and another guy who faced institutional racism in Japan. I mean,
Yeah.
he hit more home runs, almost like I think 300 more home runs than Shigeo Nagashima, but never really got the same recognition. And only after he retired did people pay attention to him, really,
Yeah.
in the Tokyo press. But there it is. I love Ulsan. I had to put him on this list. And then finally, I'll lump them both together. They're two very different people. But if you were to ask me to make my ultimate Formula One team, I will give seat number one to Ayrton Senna, who is on the banner. The Roberto Clemente of racing,
Yeah.
a guy who, yet again, fought the stereotypes and the norms of the sport at every turn, came out of nowhere in his success, and just had this otherworldly talent about him that he just wanted to share with the world. And the great quote from him is, if you are not doing what you do with love, you shouldn't be doing anything at all. What's the point if you're not doing it with love? And I think it's true because
Yeah.
he loved so many people except the stewards, which, you know, we all hate the stewards too. So we appreciate that, Ayrton. And the greatest driver in the history of the rain. I don't care what Max Verstappen says, he will never be as good as Senna in a rainstorm. And you still have the lap of the gods, even though Verstappen probably put up the fastest lap in history at Monza the other week. But there it is. So I had to give it to Senna. That's seat number one. Seat number two, uh, how did he live for as long as he did? Um, I think he is the ultimate success story of life, really. Um, I'll give it to Nicky Lauda. I mean, he was driving, he went ahead on the Nürburgring, knowing that he could probably wreck, did wreck, get his face completely burned off, by all accounts, should have died, and yet,
Yeah.
fueled entirely by spite, he recovers in the hospital, comes back, let's see, I think it was about 2 or 3 months after. He finishes fourth in Monza and loses out to James Hunt on the final day of the season in 1977. And obviously, he had
Just unreal.
3 other world championships before then. He had the one the year before, and then 2 more with McLaren, or one more with Ferrari,
Sure.
and then one more with McLaren. But I mean, he didn't take anything from anyone. He said,
Yeah.
"Why are you pushing me around? Why do you get to decide the way I do things? I am really good at what I do. I am doing things legally. I am smart. I am skilled. I am talented. Get the heck out of my way." And I'll be darned if we haven't all been at that point in our lives and have knuckled under. Nicky Lauda
Oh yeah.
tells us not to knuckle under. And especially in sports, it's a really, really important lesson to learn that yes, people might not like you, Max
Yeah.
Verstappen, but you will be regarded as the best anyway. And that is
Yep.
not without merit at the end of the day. And in a world like this one, and this is what we'll leave it on, and in a world like this one that is so defined by your expectations of another person and other people's expectations of you, and the seemingly foregone conclusion of everything, the world literally being on fire, even if you get your face burned off, it's your choice whether or not you want to recover from that and come back and win world
Absolutely.
championships.
Absolutely.
I should probably just end the channel right there. I'm not going to do any better than that. Oy vey. Ah, what an episode. An action-packed one, no less. I
Yeah.
think thank you for sticking with us if you are still watching at the end of this one. We covered a lot of ground here on this Thursday night. It's been a fun one. Next week, we'll have a greater picture on what's going on in world hockey. We'll
Yes,
also
we
do
will.
our formal playoff predictions for world baseball, give MG some time to do some homework. And I don't know. What should we do for fun next week? Let's
Ooh,
let's talk about the greatest goals in football history. What do you say?
I'm in.
All right, and that's your cue down as well. Leave us in the comments what you think the greatest goals in football history are. Just join the conversation down there. It helps with the engagement. Please do like and share this video if you enjoyed it. Here's another thing that helps get our channel noticed. Help us get to Korea for the
Help
for
us
the
get to
Korean Baseball
Korea.
Hall of Fame. We love to see that happen, and we love doing this for you. I was reading an essay the other day um, about monetizing one's hobbies, and I was sitting here thinking to myself, I don't want to do this just for the views. Do you?
No.
I want to do this
No.
just because we're having fun, and hopefully you are watching because you are watching us and having fun with us, because that's what it all boils
Yeah.
down to. At the end of the day, sports is fun. Sometimes we have to
Yeah.
talk about racism, but other times sports are fun. Now is
Yeah.
one of
And
those
I would
times.
yeah, I would love to get to the point where I would love for us to get to the point where this could be our job. I would
Well,
love that.
we'll
But
see what happens.
yeah,
Here's what I'll tell you. We love doing this for you, and we love being here with you week in, week out, and we'll keep doing
yeah,
it next week as long as you tune in. So please do like and share this
yes.
video if you enjoyed it, and you know somebody who would enjoy it right
Tell your
along
friends.
with you. And be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon down below the video screen to be notified every single time we upload a new video. I've been Marshall Lamert. This has been Matthew Giesecke as well. We'll see you in the next edition of the International Sports Report. Thank you for watching, but for now, that's the game.